Hey folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of The Articulate Fly, and we're back with our first Western North Carolina fishing report of 2020 with Dale Collins at Tuckaseegee Fly Shop. How's it going, Dale?
It's going great, Marvin. Enjoying this balmy tropical weather we've been having.
I tell you, it's pretty incredible. I was out muskie fishing and at the end of December, and I was kind of blown away. You didn't even need to wear a heavy coat.
You wear your Sims board shorts, your skip shorts?
No, I didn't go that far, but I wasn't dressed up like Nanook of the North either.
Well, I told some folks today, I saw that if this is climate change, I might be all for it if it's going to create great hatches in the wintertime for us. Obviously, the summer effects suck, but, I'm loving December with these temperatures and January with these temperatures.
Yeah, and I know I looked at the weather before we started recording, and it looks like it's going to cool off a little bit, but you're going to be a little bit warmer than normal, and you're going to have a little bit of rain. What do you think the fishing is going to look like for the next week to 10 days or so in your neck of the woods?
Well, these fish are very happy. We've even seen some light smallmouth action getting on board and catching a few red-eye bass on some trips down in Bryson City, along with the trout. So it's going to be a great start to 2020. Farmer's Almanac said it was going to be a warm, wet winter. So far, they've been spot on with the warm, and the wet has just been marginal. It's okay. It's just the right amount of rain to keep the water table where it needs to be, and not going to blow things out. The last front we had come through, it rained hard, but not for very long, and just enough to kind of cool everything off, down to kind of where we should be for January and December. But, when you see the weather forecast say, high of 50, low of 30, I wish it could stay like that all year. I mean, that's where we get the great blueing olive hatches. You get some caddis thrown in there. You got fish eating dry flies on the Tuckaseegee delayed harvest, and you can get out there and zoom some 60-foot casts and just have a blast.
Well, that's awesome. Do you have any, bug and technique suggestions for folks?
Yeah, I would totally start with an imp rig in the morning, and don't worry about waking the fish up, at sunrise or anything, but get out there and start with maybe a double nymph rig and switch over to more natural stuff, your prince nymphs, your girdle bugs, pheasant tails, hare's ears, things like that. And pay attention to your size now. These fish are getting smarter. Your tippet size matters. I would start with 5X and probably move into 6X and have your 7X handy depending on where you're at in the water clarity. But have your dry fly box ready. These water temps are becoming more and more stable. They're getting into staying in the 50-degree range during the day, and that's what makes these fish happy. So throw a dry dropper set up with parachute Adams or an Adams dry fly. Bluing olives. Make sure you got a good size range of bluing olives. And some caddis patterns.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I saw that Shannon just put out within the last, week to 10 days, another pattern. How's his micro jig booger working for you guys?
That's a really good winter pattern, especially when you're needing a fly that, eventually winter's going to catch up to us and it's going to get cold. And a lot of these fish will go deeper. So you're going to need to get down in the water column, fish it with, a second fly, and, maybe a lighter, flashier fly that the fish can pick up a little better. But, that's a great pattern. You can swing it, you can dead drift it, you can strip it. It's a great utility pattern is what I like to think of it. And, you're this jig, so even though it's heavy, you're less likely to get caught on rocks. So it's just a great all-around fly.
Yeah, folks, and if you have the Articulate Fly for your iPhone or your Android phone, you'll be able to take a look at that tying video when this report drops. And, it's that time of year, Dale, where it's showtime. So where can folks find Tuckaseegee Fly Shop on the road?
We are going to hit the road starting next week. We are headed up to the Virginia Fly Fishing and Wine Show in Richmond. It's a great show, 2-day show. I saw the extended forecast. Looks like there's some rain, so there's nothing to distract you outside. So you might as well, if you're in the Raleigh-Durham area, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump to get up there for North Carolina folks, and even in the surrounding areas of Virginia, if you can get there, it is a fantastic show, and just a lot to learn there, and that's what this time of year is. It's a learning time. So we'll be in for there in Virginia, and then February, first weekend of February, we are going to head sort of to the Midwest side of things a little bit, but Cincinnati. The Buckeye Fly Fishers have a fantastic show there in that neck of the woods. So if you have a chance, I think it's February 3rd, Super Bowl Saturday. If you have a chance, always that weekend. If you have a chance to get to the Cincinnati Buckeye Fly Fisher show, definitely do that. It is fantastic as well.
Well, that's awesome, man. I know you're going to give a talk at the Carolina Fly Fishing Club next week too.
That's right. Yep, we'll be there on Wednesday evening there at Bass Pro Shops, and got a great presentation lined up discussing weather and how it impacts fly fishing, and the $1 million question, how to understand Duke energy and flows on the Tuckaseegee.
There you go. So folks, if you live in the Charlotte area, you should check that out and keep the questions coming. If we read your question on the air, I'll send you some Articulate Fly swag, and we're going to be drawing pretty soon for that Tuckaseegee Fly Shop gift card. So you need to get your questions in. And before I let you hop, why don't you let folks know where they can find your shops, find you on the internet, and what your hours are?
Absolutely. We're located downtown Silva, North Carolina trout capital, right in the heart of things there, 530 West Main Street. And then over in Bryson City, we are right there at the gateway of the Smokies, 3 Depot Street. Got a big giant brown trout statue out front and a great coffee shop right beside us with Mountain Birds. And then online, tuckflyshop.com and Tuck Fly Shop on all the social media outlets.
Well, that's great. Well, listen, Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, Dale.
Happy New Year, Marvin.